Greetings, interwebs. It is I, Hewlett, David Hewlett here, fearlessly reporting my audio awesome to you, despite the fact that I am doing it from my deathbed. Well, slight hypochondria. I've got some chills and sniffles and aches and pains, and I've been taking it easy the last few days. No burn and learns, just bed and dead, basically, the last little while. So hoping to get back to things tomorrow. But I did want to get this email of awesome out to you because it is a treasure trove of awesome, a sunken treasure trove of awesome. And so I set up in my deathbed for you, and I'm hoping you will enjoy a little change of scenery like I am. It's quite cozy. Apparently Winston Churchill used to work from his bed all the time. But I'm going to start with the fact that I have been dying to introduce my TechBandits kids to this wonderful form of puzzling fun that is lockpicking. And I saw a deal at LockPickWorld.com recently, so I leapt at the chance to pick up a bunch of these really cool little transparent locks and pick sets. And I'm hoping that I will now be able to introduce the teen bandits at the community center, just some of the fun that I get from lockpicking. And now for the show and tell portion of my audio awesome. This is the lockpicking kit. It comes with this, and it also comes with a little extra. That's why I got the deal, because I got this for little extra bits. It's very cool. Got everything you need. I love that it's actually also ties to escape room antics as well. I think this is a great thing to tie into escape rooms. So that's the kit as it comes. Kind of fun. So you've got your transparent locks, one there and one there. You can now take a key, put them in, and you can see all the pins move, rotate. The picks you get. So you get a whole bunch of these really cool picks. A bunch of different picks for different uses and rakes and stuff to use. Again, it goes through all this in the literature. Also comes with these tension bars, which applies tension to the lock, so you can pick it properly. I already got my little favorite pick out and tensioning bar. I've got to say, while I love the look of this and the feel, it's wonderful. I almost wish it didn't have this plastic, because I feel the plastic tends to reduce the sensation of what's going on in the lock. I take my little tension thing here, I place it in the lock, I apply a little bit of tension, I then put my pick in, I go in, and again, because I can see, I look for what's the first, there you go, first one that was bound is number 1 was bound. It looks like number 1 is also bound. Or is it number 2? Oh, it might be number 2. Is that it? There we go. Let's have a look here. All right, so there's, what number am I on there? That is definitely bound. There you go. Done. So you just go through, working your way through the pins until you pick the lock. And it's really fun. I got to say, let's try the other one. Put it in there. And I'm just going to go through until I find the first pin that's bound, which I believe is the second one. There you go. And then, oh my God, that was way easier. Okay, so again, obviously, I can see inside, so it's much easier for me. What I need to do is get myself some cylinder locks that I cannot see inside and work on those. Padlock as well. Again, transparent padlock. Again, you could just see all of the inner workings in there, which is great. And obviously keys that come with that. And I also got some extra ones, because I thought the more I have for the kids to work on, the better. So again, a few more locks there to work on. I've actually managed to pick all of these so far. I don't know what it is about lockpicking. I always loved the idea of it. The mechanical puzzle side of it, really, more than the B&E, the break and entry aspect. It may seem like an odd thing to teach kids, but I think it's important to try and rid the world of what I call black box syndrome. And black box syndrome is my feeling that so many kids, and grown-ups too for that matter, seem to live in a world of black boxes. You know, gaming is done on magical gaming consoles or pre-built gaming PCs, and locks lock, printers print, and household appliances just do whatever they're supposed to do until they don't, and then we just throw them out because they're broken, right? How do people not need to understand how the things in their lives work? I don't understand that. Perhaps it's part and parcel of this right to repair thing. Big hardware companies are pushing for us not to delve into the innards of their hardware, it obviously serves them much better if we just throw these electronics out and replace them rather than pull them apart, see how they work, or even, heaven forbids, actually repair them or reuse them. Kids are born curious. So what happens to that curiosity? It drives me nuts. It was the biggest reason why I started TechBandits was the hope of sort of opening kids' eyes to this wonderful world of our that dwells within our day-to-day appliances, the things we use. And of course, poor Ham was my first experiment, the kid. I thought gaming was my perfect excuse for introducing him to the innards of computers. I forced him to participate in the building of our gaming PC. I droned on about all the various components and what they did. The CPU was the computer's brain, and the GPU was this super fast image making brain, and RAM was the super fast accessible like desktop part of the computer. There were the files you could get to on your desk as opposed to the hard drive, which was slower, and the filing cabinet form of memory files, blah, 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 blah. I then make him recite all this back to me, and we built this PC, I just loved it. I figured he'd at least come away with a basic understanding of the technology he was using, because he was on these computers gaming for so long, like hours and hours and hours a day. So he does have a basic sense of what's going on, but he certainly doesn't share my love of it all, like that passion for it that I had. But a few of his friends were excited, and so I began bringing old gaming consoles and printers and PCs into the local elementary school for kids to pull apart. And once they got over the idea that they might break something, it was really funny actually, because they'd go, is it okay if I'm like, yeah, it's broken already. You can't break it if it's already broken. So once they got over that, they got hooked on cracking open this stuff. They just loved it. They'd crack open these, previous black boxes, and they got hooked on that, and I got hooked on inspiring kids instead of trying to teach them stuff, I guess is probably a good way of putting it. There's just like nothing more truly magical than having like a kid run up to you and show you that they've discovered this whole world within a PC case, or that there's stuff lurking behind that plastic panel that they've managed to take off, or inside an old iPhone. That was marvelous too, because the concept of taking apart a phone just blew their little minds. It was just wonderful. I mean, that is magic, I gotta say. So now locks are a little harder to crack into these things by design, of course. But there's some extraordinary information out there about this ancient art of lock picking once you start looking for it. And it's a bit like stepping into an alternate universe, really. You can just get lost in it. There's just so much stuff. I've got to say, it started off badly in that I couldn't get into the packaging of the lock picking kit that I was cackling to myself with the fact that I couldn't get this damn box open. How was I ever going to pick a lock if I can't even get the packaging off the kit? But once I was inside, the lock picking kit came with a little dead tree booklet, which I forced myself to read from cover to cover. Well, from cover to where they said I should start lockpicking, because the diagrams were just fantastic. There's something about understanding what's going on. It's the difference between poking and stabbing and mashing around inside the lock blindly and this more cool and sophisticated 007 James Bond systematic solution approach to picking the locks. And I got to say, it is a wonderful feeling when the cylinder finally succeeds to your inexpert touch. It's kind of wonderful. I definitely recommend it to people. A few resources to get you started. In the email of awesomeness, I mentioned the lock picking noobs intro. It's actually Lockpick Noob. They've got a great place to start there. And then of course there's the lock picking lawyer, who's been like a favorite of mine for years now. So once you got the basic from Lock Noob, I'd recommend you check out this video that I put in the email of awesomeness, just about the tension required and how to gauge the tension you need to pick these locks. It's just a great window into just how much there is to learn and practice with this thing, how much of an art it is. And like the dizzying number of locks themselves, there seems to be an endless array of different tactics and approaches and perspectives on these elusive security puzzles. It could be very easy to slip from sort of hobby into obsession. And it might be too late for me. Go on without me. It's too late for me. And since I've got the mailbag out, check this out. Captain Catherine, the fabulous Captain Catherine, has sent me this wonderful little raccoon fellow with his own little Tech Bandits hoodie and be safe, be kind, be brilliant on the back, which is just absolutely lovely. Thank you so, so much, Captain Catherine, for that. She also sent, get this, a candle that smells like banana bread. Oh my God. So I can be hungry all the time. Banana bread. And there's all these beautiful little keychain with be safe, be kind, be brilliant on it. And there's another one that's be kind and learn and Tech Bandits. And then there's these 2 Tech Bandits bracelets. I've already got one of them on, a little friendship bracelet here that says Tech Bandits on it. And so appreciate that. She also wrote this just fabulous letter that just meant an awful lot to me, because she was talking about how she spoke to her husband about Tech Bandits. She kept sort of bringing it up, boring her poor husband with these tales of our Tech Bandit streams. And she started going through the old streams because she said she was feeling like in her head that she had all these dreams, all these ideas, but she wasn't doing anything about it. And she was hoping to sort of get some inspiration to do that, which she has. She's now started doing some making. She's working on doing some work with kids in the park, doing some sort of camp-like stuff with them. And just the fact that Tech Bandits got her excited about creating, I thought was wonderful. I just love the idea that she said she was stuck in her head. She was sort of stuck in the dreaming phase. And I think a lot of people find themselves in that situation, and myself included. And sometimes you just gotta dive in, because, like I say, you don't learn anything if you don't get it wrong, right? So, like I say with the Tech Bandits, oh no, it worked. We didn't learn anything. So, huge thanks and love to Captain Catherine for that. Just a lovely letter, lovely art that she's done, and arts and crafts that she's done, and of course the fabulous Tech Bandits mascot, which will never be far from me because he's just the best. So. Thank you very much. Huge thanks to you, Captain Catherine, for that. Really appreciate it. I thought while I was in the mail room, I should also thank Captain Catherine for that. It is one of the things one of my greatest joys from Tech Bandits was having people. One of my greatest joys from Stargate was having people come up and say, "Oh my God, your show made me go into the sciences. I'm an astrophysicist, or I'm a scientist of some sort." I was always just absolutely thrilled about that, and so to get letters now about my own Tech Bandit streams and the YouTube stuff and everything, it's fabulous. So thank you very much, Captain Catherine, and thank you, everyone. Speaking of unlocking secrets, how about this tale of $1 billion shipwreck? This is kind of cool, actually. I did not think for a second that I'd be interested in some kind of historical naval battle off the coast of Colombia, or the ensuing legal battle between an American salvage company and Colombia. I never thought that would hold any interest to this technoholic nerd. But this is what they're calling like the holy grail of shipwrecks and sunken treasures. And it's worth possibly $20 billion, which is just insane. $20 billion. Colombia's Navy claims they found the wreck of this ship called the San Jose in 2015. And it's been keeping its location secret, or trying to keep its location secret. It'd be funny if someone's already just gone down with a submersible, just taking everything. The British Navy sank the ship, God, the British again, off the coast of Colombia in 1708. And salvage nerds think it's laden with gold and silver and gems. I saw this beautiful, what is it called? Crockery? What is it? Cups and saucers and plates and stuff. It's off the coast of Colombia, and this was all headed for the Spanish king at the time. Colombia, of course, is eager to cash out and salvage the ship. But this company called Sea Search Armada says they've already got a deal with the government when they found this thing in the 80s, and they want half of that king's ransom. So there's a whole legal battle going there. But what really sucked me in was the science and tech behind all this locating, exploring, and recovering of these wrecks from the watery depths. I discovered there's a magazine called Wreck Watch, which is just, I don't know why that's funny to me, but who knew there was a whole shipwreck magazine? But there is. And not only that, it also has a YouTube channel with all these very cool tales of discovery. It's also become cheaper now. I mean, by ocean salvage standards, I guess. It's become possible for more people to do this because the cost has come down so much because these remotely operated underwater vehicles, which for some reason, I don't know why do they call them ROVs? Remote underwater vehicles, but I guess remotely operated vehicles, I guess. What about should it be ROV? I don't know. Screw the U, I guess, right? But what about me? How do I get my treasure-hungry hands on some of these remote submersible vehicles? It's just amazing how the technology's changed and democratized the salvage process. And, for us deep sea detectorists, that should be a series. First seafaring nerds that leapt to mind, of course, was CPS Drone. Go check them out on YouTube. Dynamic duo who not only make their own drones, they make their adventures into these wonderful YouTube videos, and they have a whole DIY ROV, I guess I have to go with that, course as well. So they've got a whole course on how to build this thing, how to operate it yourself, and really start from scratch. I'm so tempted to do it or run through it maybe with the TechBandits or something, because it just sounds really cool. And as I say, they're just these kids are just doing such a great job of their sort of their YouTube adventures with it. I also found that there's a leading ROV company here in Ontario, actually in Kitchener-Waterloo, of course, where all the cool tech people are. They're called Deep Trekker. They're in nearby Kitchener-Waterloo. Oh yeah, another excuse to go visit the Hacksmith and ClearPath Robotics and Auto Robotics and the museum.ca and all the folks out there. It's a great place to go and like a center, a hub of innovation. And I'm kind of excited that I would love to go and actually get to chat with these aqua peeps out there at the Deep Trekker folks. So if anyone knows anybody, I'd love to talk to them. I've now revised my fantasy for retirement to include a pig attractor, as we've spoken about before, and not just trudging through soggy fields in Warwickshire with a metal detector, but looking for soggy treasure at the bottom of lakes as well with like a DIY remote operated vehicle of my own. So quite excited about that. All from the non-sea sickening dry land, which is a big bonus for me, as you know. So it just seems like a good way to dive into senility. On the TechBandits front, I am hoping to kit myself out with a few more lockpicking sets for the kids to work on. I would love some help with that. If anyone wants to throw some Christmas love our way, please, sign up for the Patreon, or there's a PayPal link for donations there on the website, techbandits.org, or even better, if you want, buy yourself some merch. I got some really cool new Post-it notes and stuff. So if you want to help out and get yourself some Christmas presents at the same time, I would highly advise that. And finally, last but not least, we are doing the Damn Dirty Abe's podcast. My friend Lance Gimpy G. Carr and I. That is every Monday now. We talk about his crazy life adventures, a few of mine, discuss the world, technology, have a lot of fun, silly banter, much, much joyful conversation, and I invite you to join us for that on Mondays as well. So until we geek again, I will say be safe, be kind, be brilliant, although I'm thinking about changing that. I think maybe it should be brave, be kind, be brilliant. I kind of like that. What do you think? I have to think about that. Be brave, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah!